So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with,
Braden from Saint Judas, the
and,
band.
and we're gonna ask him some questions today about their upcoming EP, A Terrible Year. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Honestly, like I'm super humbled by the response because last this last release, like the Dorian, because we did an interview for Dorian, which was so awesome, and I was very, very pleased with like how people enjoyed that. But like the response for this, like I've never done promotion or like press or anything, and like just me announcing that the EP is coming out, people are like going fucking insane, and like it has been really humbling to be like a year, well, 2 years has passed, and like all these people are like super excited about it. I'm talking with publications to like do interviews for it and whatnot. I'm like, oh my god, so much is happening. I'm so excited. So it's great. Like I got like this warm fuzzy feeling, and I've been freaking out every time somebody like mentions wanting to talk about it or listen to it. I'm just like, ah. Oh, it's great.
It's great that like people are excited for it because like we've been following you for like over a year at this point since we did that interview, and probably before that I don't even remember. And you've gotten so much like hype behind you. Like it's been cool to see you grow over like the past year or so.
Is there
Yeah.
is there hype behind me? Is
A little
I'm
bit, a
unaware
little bit of
of
hype.
a little bit?
People are excited, you know. People are
Yeah.
excited.
It is weird because like I haven't really released a project since Dorian came out, and like that, you know, I didn't really have the DIY community, like nobody like knew me when I released that. So like it is interesting that this is like the first like real release that I'm doing with like people and friends that I know through the DIY community. Like it's super exciting. I'm so excited. It's great. I love that.
Hell yeah.
Very excited for you. So is there any meaning behind the EP title, A Terrible Year, and the cover art?
Yeah, so there is. I do want to go ahead and say that it is not a quarantine album, although I feel like a lot of people might think that it's a quarantine album because of the name and because it comes out a year after 2020. It was like written. I started writing it towards the end of like the last release, which was Dorian, and it's like a sequel to that. So it's more of like the year leading up, like the time period leading up to that release slash a little bit of time afterwards, which kind of bleeds into like COVID era time period stuff, but it is certainly not like a thing that I like set out to write during quarantine. And like I produced it and did some recordings like during quarantine, but it's certainly like not about that. It's more so about like a response to how I was feeling after I had moved, because I mentioned in the last interview that like Dorian was about moving. I moved to Florida, and that was like really, really scary and uncertain. And then I moved, and then I got really, really, really depressed. And I'm in Florida, and Florida is so depressing. And it's just been like it's basically like that first year slash 2 years actually that like I lived in Florida, and it's a terrible year like that. I mean, so that's what that is. And then my sister took the album artwork. Actually, she took that photo when I visited her. We went to the NASA space launch together, and I just really like that photo. And I told her, I was like, I want to use this for something. And I use her photography for a lot of my releases and stuff. I just really like using it. So I ended up using that photo, which, I mean, it's a photo in Florida, so I guess it like works because that's what like the EP is about, I guess. So, but nothing super special about the photo, just something I really liked, and I thought I liked the vibe for it. I thought it really matched the vibe of the album, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
So can you tell us a little about your writing process for this EP?
Yeah, I can. How depressing do you want me to get? I won't get too depressing. No content warnings, I promise.
All right.
But like I said, it it's very much like a sequel to my last release. Like if my last release was about like moving and being scared about moving and leaving like my friends behind, like I moved and I went to this new place and I didn't really like know anybody, and I like it just was really, really difficult. And when I do not feel good, like mentally, I turn to music a lot because it helps me kind of like cope and vent a lot of like the frustrations that I have. So at least lyrically and like conceptually, I guess, the writing process for this was just a lot of me like getting those feelings out and like on paper and writing it down. So like it just became something, and I wanted to try to like write a story. I wanted to try to like have a hand at like having a cohesive story through the entire album. So like I crafted the songs in a way that I thought that they really flowed well together and told a story that I wanted to tell that kind of reflected how I was feeling during the time that I was writing it. That's at least from like a lyrical standpoint. The like music standpoint is really, really cool because it's the first release that like I really collaborated a lot with, and I have you guys to thank for that actually, because I like being in the DIY scene has been so great for me, like mentally, just because like I did like lose contact with a lot of my friends from where I used to live in Nashville, and like having this community to like be a part of and interact with and like kind of just let them into my life and into my like music process has been so wonderful. I had Bob from Hornbill, which I think you know, he basically produced the entire thing with me, and that was like wonderful experience to basic, because I'm not very good at production, so like I was basically like, so this is what I'm going for, here's a wall of text that's just like this is the vibe for the song, and he's like, okay, like bet, like I got you. And then he would send me like a demo or like a first mix from the demo that I sent him, and I would just like be crying at my desk like, oh my god, it's good. So like that's like from the production standpoint, the process, like it was a lot of collaboration and a lot of, I know it's like DIY, do it yourself, but like this release for me really was like learning to let go of like trying to do everything on my own and letting like other people help me, like I guess make my vision reality. And it's just been so like such a wonderful process. So like complete opposite from the lyrical writing process, like very good process production wise, very sad, depressing process from the lyrical side.
Okay.
Wow, okay. I'm happy you have that community now. That makes me really happy.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm so glad to be a part of it. Like it really has gotten me through this past year. Like no lie, no hyperbole. Like I have gotten through this year because of the people I've met through the DIY community. And maybe that's stupid of me to say, like the people on the internet kind of helped me out, but like they really have. Like I consider a lot of them like very good friends of mine, and I hope they would say the same about me. I don't know, but it's great.
Okay. All right. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this EP and the meaning behind it.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. My favorite lyric. Geez. Okay, can I cheat and do two? Like one real quick one and then one. Okay, so there's a line in the first song that says, I'll be listening to We Tennis my headphones. And that is a direct reference to Big Aluminum's We Tennis song, because that's like it's the same melody and everything. And I was like, I'm gonna reference you. I'm gonna do the exact melody and then I'm gonna change it. So like it's very quick, but like I wrote that lyric and I was like, I want to reference Big Al in this song. So because I love him and he's great. And he did the same with one of his songs with one of mine. And I was like, I need to reference him. So that is that's just like a fun one. But my favorite lyric, like other than that, is probably on the fourth track called like Turning Off the TV, and it's gather around the kitchen sink or everybody grab a drink, gather around the kitchen sink, we'll talk about dying and how that might feel. And that's kind of like I shouldn't say an illusion because it's very direct, but it's basically about like all of the friends that I used to have, like where I would go over to their houses and hang out, you know, where you stay up till like 2 a.m, like just hanging out in their kitchen and with like a beer or something and just like talking about like the most random things possible. Like, and it can be as like depressing as you want. And I think about stuff like that. And some of my favorite conversations are in situations like that. And so I think about like times where I would sit around the kitchen sink with my best friend and talk about things that are scary, like dying or, you know, whatever. So that's probably my favorite lyric in the whole release, as depressing as that is.
A good lyric.
So how do you recommend that your fans listen to the EP for the first time? Should they do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is it a party EP, workout EP? What do you think?
A workout EP. It's gonna be the worst workout EP ever.
No.
So it's definitely, I personally am very much a like, when I want to listen to an album I've been waiting for, I go to my room, I'm in the dark, I put on my headphones and I just listen to it front to back. And I think that's probably the best way to listen to it, the way that I intended it to be listened to. I put a lot of care into like the flow of the whole thing. So I wanted everything to flow really well together and the vibes to kind of like, I don't know how to just, but that's how I would recommend it. I definitely think there are songs on there that are like, you can play it in the car and like have fun with your friends and stuff. But like the way that I kind of wrote it was, it was a, you know, sit alone, dark room, listen to it with your headphones on and just think about how cool life is, I guess.
Bawl your eyes out, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It gets a little sad.
So this one should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Super. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. So warm. Relax. Dissociate. Those are the 3 words I've used to describe it.
All right.
Those are perfect.
So is there a certain feeling or emotion you want your listeners to have while going through the EP?
Yeah, catharsis, definitely. All of the music that I write is cathartic. I want people to listen to it and say, oh my God, I feel that exact same way sometimes. I'm not alone. I am glad that I'm not alone in feeling like this. Yes, that's how I would like them to react.
Okay.
I like that a lot. All right. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
My snack of choice? I include a drink with this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. As terrible as it would be is this like a pre-show snack? Because as terrible as this would be for a pre-show snack, I would get a Dr. Pepper because I love Dr. Pepper. And I shouldn't drink Dr. Pepper as much as I do, but I do. And then I'd probably get like some sort of like, I like Skittles a lot. Skittles are just an easy travel snack, you know, you put it in your pocket, save it for later, bring it out. Like definitely Skittles, maybe like the tropical Skittles flavor, like you know what I'm saying? I love my final answer, Dr. Pepper and Skittles, not together, separately, one after the other.
Okay. Which one is first though?
Dr. Pepper, definitely. Dr. Pepper.
Okay, good to know.
Skittles will last me a long time afterwards, right? You gotta nibble on them like one at a time. So like Dr. Pepper first, and I can enjoy my Skittles without the taste of Dr. Pepper, making it not as pure. I want that pure Skittles flavor.
All
Perfect.
Right. So if your project was a dish, what dish would it be and why?
Gosh, my project was a dish.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably say like fish. It would be some sort of fish, like maybe like a salmon or a trout. As weird as that is.
Okay.
A trout. I could see it as a trout, like served with asparagus. You know what I mean? Like some asparagus. Maybe I'm just hungry and I really want asparagus. But like I don't know. Like that's just the vibe I get. I have no foundation for saying that, other than that's the vibe I feel like I probably ascribe to my music.
Okay.
All right. So for these last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sick. So if you could be one animal for the rest of your life, which animal would you be and why?
One animal. Well, like I want to say a dog just because I love dogs so much, but that's so boring. That's such an easy answer. I don't want the easy.
Not boring.
You definitely strike me as a dog person, though.
Dogs are amazing and great and wonderful and perfect things in the world. As much as I want to say dog, I would probably say a jellyfish. I would love to be a jellyfish. Just chilling in the ocean, just floating where the current takes me, and living my life. You know, nobody messing with me because I got the little stingers. Like, just let me do my thing and just float around and be a jellyfish. Plus, jellyfish are freaking gorgeous. Like, you ever watch jellyfish like just do their thing? Like, well, I would be so happy as a jellyfish.
Perfect.
All right. So if you could have lunch with any celebrity or artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Celebrity or artist, dead or alive? That is a great question. Like on my mind right now, I want to say Daniel Johnston because I just this past weekend went to his art exhibit that he did, his foundation did, where they showcase a lot of his art. And Daniel Johnston's like a huge inspiration for me. I absolutely love how, like, it still boggles my mind like how he was somehow able to get as popular as he is. So he just seems like an interesting guy to like talk to. He seems so chaotic, but in the most pure and wholesome way. And like, I think I would just really vibe with that energy. So maybe it's because I just came back from that exhibit, but I'm gonna go with Daniel Johnston. Daniel Johnston, final answer. That's what I want.
Okay.
Locked in. All right. So for this last question, boom, you're on a desert island. You can only bring one movie, one album, and one person. Who and what are you bringing?
One movie, one album, one person.
Yes.
My album would probably be, I get so much shit for this. I would probably be In the Airplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel. I know that's such an answer. I love that album. I adore that album. I never get tired of it. Like since the first time I've listened to it, I have listened to it so much, and it still is just like something I can listen to and still enjoy no matter how many times I've listened to it. So I'd probably take that album. Movie wise, like part of me just wants to say something like a really long movie. Like have you ever heard of those longcore films that are like 8 hours long and like yeah, right? Like I feel like that would be like a good answer just because like it would pass the time a lot, but I feel like I get bored really easy.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say the director's cut for Donnie Darko. That's like my favorite movie. And again, same thing with Neutral Milk. Like I feel like I could watch that like over and over again and not get tired of it just because do I have ways to play these things? Do I have like a DVD, CD player?
I always see like a VR, not VR. What is it? VHS, VCR. God, I said everything but that. VCR set like one of those box TVs, and then just kind of like a, I don't know,
an 8-track CD
players. Yeah. Oh, even better.
Yeah. You so you're really just stuck like in the 60s or whenever they had those. I don't know.
I don't know either. I think that's before the 60s.
I can dig it. Like that's cool. Yeah, no, I would take those two things, and then person. Do dogs count as people?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would take and honestly any dog.
Any dog?
Okay. Any like my tier list for people are like literally any dog, and then like the people I love. And that's not a bad, like that's not like a dig on the people that I love. I just love dogs that much.
My
I get
partner's
it.
the same way, yeah.
So I'd probably like I'd get me like a puppy, just like a puppy, and just like chill with the dog, like as long as I can. Yeah.
You better keep the tapes away from the dog, because that's the only copy of Donnie Darko and the Neutral Milk Hotel album that you got. So if they eat it, you're fucked.
I would be so mad if like, especially like at the beginning, like within the first year, like the puppy energy just like attacks like my pride possessions, and I'm like, we have a lifetime to spend on this island, and you have already destroyed this for me.
I'm going to kill you.
No more dog.
No more dog. I've lost all three in the first year.
So as Glory said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, I have things I would like to plug, I guess. As always, I want to plug the homies. I love all the homies. I want to plug Bob. Bob's amazing, and if anybody's listening to this and doesn't listen to Hornbill, like, you should listen to Hornbill because they're amazing. There's so many homies, and I'm not going to be able to list them all off, and I'm going to forget somebody. So I'm just going to say blanket statement, plug in the homies. I have like a Spotify playlist with most of them on it, so you can check that out, like, if you want to like discover some really amazing and wholesome people. As for like actual like music related things to plug, I'm really excited about the fact that this release will be the first release I'm doing that has a physical release that will be coming with it. So I'm partnering, I don't know if I'm allowed to, let's just say I'm talking with a tape label to do cassettes for the release. So there will be cassettes when it comes out. And so if you want a cassette of my music, you will be able to get one, which is pretty dang cool. I'm super excited for it. I never thought that was ever going to happen. So like, that's cool. And I will also be doing shirts. You can get shirts too. So, but really just like, you know, that's neither here nor there. Like, the album, like, listen to the album if you want. I worked really hard on it for like 2 years. So that's really it. That's all I got to plug. Those things, the album and the stuff.
All right.
And the homie.
Well, thank you. For now, that's been Saint Judas, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.